A new ad released by the president's re-election campaign attacks Mitt Romney for his history with venture capitalist firm Bain Capital. But hours after the ad was released, the president raked in $2 million from one of the largest private equity firms, Blackstone. So where exactly does the president stand when it comes to capitalism?
Does the president believe in the basic concept of venture capitalism?
Well, I know you're asking a rhetorical question because he speaks to this and spoke to it as recently as yesterday, and the answer is absolutely yes.
Why is it okay in general, but it's not okay in the case of Mitt Romney?
I would refer you to the campaign to talk about campaign-specific matters.
So when it comes to his relationship with Wall Street, is the president displaying a double standard? Does he want it both ways? Let's ask our political panel, Alexis McGill Johnson, Executive Director of the Values Institute and a brand new mom, Daniel Gross, the Economics and Finance Editor at Yahoo.com, and Ed Conard, a former partner at Bain Capital and the author of Unintended Consequences. Good morning, panel. Good morning. Nice to have you all here today. Ed, let me start with you. You worked with Mitt Romney at Bain for many, many years. Was that ad disingenuous?
I'll say. I think Bain's record will stand up to scrutiny. I must say that I don't speak for Bain. I'm a former partner of Bain Capital. But if you look at that steel investment, for example, that plant was slated for closure. Bain bought it. They put $100 million in 6 years of time into it. 50% of the industry's capacity was wiped out by imports, and that we worked incredibly hard to make that successful. At the same time, we made an investment in another steel company where we built a mill from scratch, from the ground up, specifically designed to compete under the changing conditions. And that company today is the 5th largest steel company. It employs 6,000 people.
So how does the president get away with having it both ways? He had this huge fundraiser with a huge private equity guy here in New York City from Blackstone. And at the same time, he's vilifying Mitt Romney for doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he gets away with it. Of course, he can raise money from some people. The question is whether or not he can win the election.
Daniel?
Well, I think this is actually par for the course. When you look back to the primaries and even back in 2008, remember Mike Huckabee's line about Romney looks like the guy who fired you? The people in the primary, they weren't attacking Romney over foreign policy. They were running negative ads like Gingrich about his record as a venture capitalist. So I just think, this is what he did in his professional life. This is what he's known for. And when you get into the political sphere, you are going to be attacked for it. So I don't think it has anything to do with a double standard. It's simply, since Romney's been in public life, this is what people go after him for because they're unpopular.
It's an attack on capitalism. Private equity.
Well, was Mike Huckabee attacking capitalism when he was going after Romney?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Mike Huckabee. But on its face, it seems a little disingenuous to attack what Mitt Romney did and then go out and raise money from exactly those exact kind of people. Right, Alexis?
Well, no, I don't think it's a double standard at all. I think what's happening is that, surprise, surprise, there are actually some patriotic millionaires and private equity guys on Wall Street who care about larger issues around the economy, not just what the president thinks about private equity or what happened at Bain Capital. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that Mitt Romney and Ed here did great by their shareholders and by Bain Capital, but the question is when you translate that experience into running a global economy, what will that look like? And, it's kind of like asking Mitt Romney to go from being, a strip miner to an environmentalist, and we're not sure whether or not he could do that.
I think people are kidding themselves if they think all companies do is work for investors. Companies, to be successful, are working for customers. They have to meet the demands of customers, and you have to make businesses stronger and grow faster if you want to make money for your shareholders. The idea that all you have to do is cut costs and strip out a little assets, that's a cartoon version of business. I'm sure some people in America believe it, but I don't think many people believe it.
All right, we could talk about it for hours, but I got to wrap it up because the panel's sticking around for this. Bill Clinton says Obama isn't doing the right things for the economy. Who needs enemies with friends like these? And he's a real-life war hero, now playing one on the big screen. Greg Gadson from the movie Battleship joins us live.
This program is brought to you by Visa. Use your Visa card at the UPS store and you're entered for a chance to win a trip to the London 2012 Olympic Games from Visa.
This is corporate headquarters. As you can see, I have a unique business. How do I compete with the big boys? I've got this fancy business address, a marketing department, a distribution center, and a great team, even a cafeteria.
That's mine. From packing and shipping to printing and mailbox services, come into the UPS store for everything a small business needs.
I love logistics.
Cranberry juice? Wake up!
That's good morning, veggie style.
For half the calories plus veggie nutrition, could have had a V8.
When you treat people right, word gets around.
Market Midas.
Total car care, total customer care. Midas.
At Scottrade, you won't just find us online. You'll also find us in person, with dedicated support teams at over 500 branches nationwide. So when you call or visit, you can ask for a name you know. Because personal service starts with a real person.
At Scottrade, $7 trades are just the start. Our support teams are nearby, ready to help. It's no wonder so many investors are saying,
I'm with Scottrade.
We charge everything else. Maybe it's time to recharge the human battery. Only the Beauty Rest Recharge Sleep System combines the comfort of air-cooled memory foam layered on top of Beauty Rest pocketed coils to promote proper sleeping posture all night long. The revolutionary Recharge Sleep System from Beauty Rest. It's you fully charged.
Medicare. It doesn't cover everything, and what it doesn't cover can cost you some money. That's why you should consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. All Medicare supplement insurance plans can help pay some of what Medicare doesn't, so you could save thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket expenses. Call now for this free information kit and Medicare guide. If you're turning 65 or you're already on Medicare, you should know about this card. It's the only one of its kind endorsed by AARP. See if it's right for you. All Medicare supplement plans let you keep your own doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare. There are no networks and no referrals needed. Help protect yourself from some of what Medicare doesn't pay and save up to thousands of dollars in potential out-of-pocket expenses with an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Call this toll-free number on your screen now for this free information kit, including this Medicare guide and customized rate quote.
News time. A Brooklyn guy busted at JFK Airport for claiming to have a bomb in his bag. 65-year-old allegedly told a JetBlue attendant he had explosives as he was about to board his flight to Florida. Cops were called, nothing in the bag. And looking to buy a one-of-a-kind car? Well, the Sea Lion can be yours. The inventor spent 6 years building his dream sports car for the road and the water. The car-boat hybrid goes up to 125 miles, they say, per hour on the roads and 60 miles per hour on the water. Its price? Just $259,500. That'll soak you. Gretch?
They were just campaigning together last week, but now President Bill Clinton saying he doesn't really agree with how President Obama's handling one small thing. Maybe what the whole election's about, the economy.
President, I think, should talk more about the Medicare savings he has proposed and the defense cuts he has proposed and the fact that he proposes, and this, I disagree with this, by the way, he proposes to take discretionary non-defense spending to its lowest percentage of GDP since President Eisenhower was in office.
So, how can he disagree on these central issues and still support President Obama? Back now to discuss this, our political panel, Alexis McGill, Johnson, Daniel Gross, and Ed Conard. Alexis, I'm going to let you take a stab at this. President Clinton disagrees with President Obama on the major tenets of the economy and what this election is all going to be about. How do we bring those two guys together and say they see things the same?
Well, I think they do on the larger ideas of how we need to invest in the economy, invest in the people, the working class Americans, and the opportunities that they need to succeed. And I think that the President Obama has actually a little bit closer than Clinton than the clip showed, right? I mean, I think his work on health care, I think his work on the Jobs Act actually have been addressing some of the major issues in the economy. I think that
closer. Bill Clinton says he should be talking more about the budget. Senate Democrats have not passed one in more than 3 years. Bill Clinton says that they should have listened to Simpson-Bowles and did the deficit reductions. The president should be talking more about the deficit. That's a major thing. But Bill Clinton says he should be talking about Medicare cuts. Bill Clinton says he disagrees with the president on the Pentagon cuts. I mean, how many more do I have to get through before it sounds like a Republican up against a Democrat, Daniel?
Well, I think a lot of this has to do with tactics. And Clinton is the master tactician. He won re-election in 1996, and this is nothing new. He came out with a book last November about how we should get the economy back on track, and a lot of the stuff was stuff that Obama had proposed. But I think a lot of what Clinton is saying has to do with style. Is he going to be a candidate like FDR was in 1936 and kind of embrace and own what he did, sort of punch the bankers in the nose, be much more aggressive? Or is he going to be a little more passive in the way he's outsourced a lot of the legislation to Congress and kind of been more behind the scenes on these deficit talks that didn't work out? So I think it has more to do
behind the scenes
with
or has
style,
done nothing.
with style or tactics than goals.
Ed, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Clinton can't help but speak the truth. He feels a responsibility to America. We have taxes are running at 15% of GDP, spending's running at 25% of GDP. Obviously, getting the budget in balance is one of the critical issues facing the country. Bill Clinton recognizes that. Everybody recognizes that.
Does it also show that Bill Clinton was more of a reach across the aisle kind of president and more of a centrist? And what does it say about what kind of president Hillary Clinton would have been?
Well, I think Hillary Clinton would have been a wonderful president. I think
more centrist than President Obama.
I actually think she would have been more progressive. I think that Obama is quite centrist. I think he's staked his whole first term on compromise, in stark contrast to what the right has done, which has essentially been trying to punish the president and to protect their interests. I think that Secretary of State Clinton would have actually governed a little bit more from the left, because I think she would have that's the position that she would have.
Well, then she would have had a lot of disagreements at home, because President Bill Clinton doesn't seem to be agreeing with any of that. Panel, thanks so much. Have a good rest of the week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
A stunning development. A university